Alright fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters for the overview of Florian and Miraidon. Alright, here we go. Got ourselves Miraidon in the game. This is the one I'm more hyped for over Koraidon, though this guy, I think people... Electrics are broken. People are debating this guy over Ash, and well, and at this point, frankly, the fact that he is able to compress Thunderbolt, Rest, and Ash's roles kind of into one, and be his own kind of separate unit, I think this is honestly just giving him his own good value. And especially considering Ash has not run for 2.5 years, so, and he's probably never going to. Let's get that out of our heads. Anyway, whatever, doesn't matter. Florian and Miraidon, great character. Really, really strong, I'd say. They're a strike texting pair, debuting on February 19th, leaving March 29th. Again, same as Juliana, about a month and 2 weeks, give or take, to pull for this character. In his case, it's like a month, a week and a half, whatever. He's electric, Paldea, main character, cook, and knowledgeable. Isn't that the same skills as Juliana? I know the first 4 are. Is the last one the same? I don't even know why I'm filtering the latest sync pairs in the game. Juliana, theme skills, free spirit. Okay, well, close enough, basically. Anyway, whatever. This guy's stats. At 6-star, that's Juliana's stats. At 6-star EX, level 150 here without the Tech EX roll. He's got 394 special attack, 180 defense, 208 special defense, 295 HP. I mean, they have similar stats. They really do. He's definitely got a less special attack to work with than Juliana does in her attack, but that's probably just because of, well, how he can use this. Though, granted, Juliana can use her buddy move infinitely, and it's also really strong. Whatever. Honestly, I don't know why they nerfed his special attack so much. He could definitely, like, have made good usage of the power, but it's okay. It's okay. Look at his moves. He's got Electro Drift, which is a 2-gauge move because he's got Fuel Economy 2 here in the grid. This is what he got, Fuel Economy 2. So this move is very gauge efficient. That's very good. It's 152 minimum power, 182 max power, 100 accuracy, has a 30% power buff when super effective. You know, those Tornaduses, though he does not paralyze, so rip Tornadus, though he, I don't know if he could brute force it. Maybe he could, I don't know. I guess, does he have piercing blows? No, he doesn't. Okay, like those electric weak stages, like Leon, that's going to do pretty good. He's one electric type that does not have paralysis, and a lot of the electric weak content really wants paralysis. I feel bad for the guy. Poor Florian. Anyway, electric terrain, he's able to set electric terrain, and unlike Juliana, he actually will press this button, I believe. Yeah, he'll press the button. He'll actually use the electric terrain himself. He's got V Electric Drift, which is Violet Electric Drift. 2-gauge, 1 use, 350 power, yeesh, 420 maximum power, hits all enemies. It's activated when in electric terrain, deactivated when no longer in electric terrain, never misses, guaranteed crits, attacks power is increased by 30% when super effective, power of the move is not lowered if there are multiple targets, increases the user's sync move up next by 10 ranks. Okay, that's a little bit, yeah, we'll go into why that's good. You can probably already make a good guess, though. And then Tournament Treasure Hunt Time, which raises special attack by 6, crit by 3, and speed by 6 in electric terrain. It's very similar to Juliana's passive. I don't know why they... Do they get, like, speed buffs in their actual passives, in their abilities in the main series? I don't even know this. Hold on, I want to look this up. I know they get like a power buff that's like similar in Sun, but like Sun and electric terrain. I mean, we want to look at this here, or a Calcum Pulse. Boost attack while active, so no, it doesn't buff its speed, does it? I mean, bruh. Collision Course, boosted and super effective. Okay, I don't know why they buff speed, but the speed's cool. We like speed. Speed is nice. Anyway. So decent moves here. This is a very strong move, obviously. He's got the spammable DPS. He's got the electric terrain. We're going to see a lot of similarities to Juliana, if you've watched that video. He's got Paldea Spirit here, which is the special attack version of Paldea Pride, giving you up to 50% buffs in his special attack, minimum of 20%, and also some special damage reduction. In terms of, like, Paldea synergy, he definitely doesn't have... I don't think he's really got as much synergy with Paldea characters as Juliana does, who already kind of struggles to have a lot of synergy with them. Like, special attackers. I mean, you've got Iona, who's an ancient Paradox Pokemon who wants Sun, so you're already facing a problem. Mela, who would also prefer Juliana because of the Sun. It's really not. It's just not Florian's day. Free-to-play ass McGee over here. Not really doing too good. Iono, I guess, as a support, honestly, Iono could be good for Florian. I mean, not like a dedicated support. I mean, Champion Blue is just going to be better in like all regards, but if you want a support that can like play off of the buffs that Florian can provide, and obviously Florian can like accept her special moves next buffs pretty well, then I mean they've got like synergy there in some sense. And also in Nemona as well, being buffed by the electric terrain, there's actually some decent synergy there as well that you gotta consider it's Nemona. So that's about the only downside to that. So he does have some, I guess he does have some decent synergy with a few Paldean characters, mostly the electric ones, for obvious reasons. Passive skills, he's able to buff special attack by 30% in electric terrain. I mean, we want to do the math here. Also, by the way, didn't bring it up, but he's got an EX roll of tech, buffing his special attack to over 400, and his other stats a decent amount as well. Again, similar stats other than the special attack to Juliana. Let's take a look at this 1.3. 538 special attack is pretty damn good for sure. So that is a respectable number, obviously. I think he could have still used the extra 70%, not 70%, Jesus, extra 70-ish attack or special attack that Juliana gains on her attack stat, just because she's got a higher base. But hey, it's still good enough for sure. It's still a really high special attack stat. Turns the field of play into electric terrain on entry and extends duration of electric terrain on the field. We don't know if this is 30 or 50% yet. We just don't know. So this is good though. I mean, the extension of electric terrain is sitting on entry. This means the buddy move is active on entry. You can use it whenever you want. And again, it extends the uses of when you can use your electric terrains and when you want to actually use it. And that's obviously good for pretty much any team you're going to be running him under. I mean, he's going to be good for any electric type team for the most part. Like, he's going to be a very main damage dealer, but of course you can also bring him with other characters that'll benefit under his electric terrain. Emmett, if you want another electric terrain setter and a solid damage dealer, Pierce is pretty good, though he wants his poison zone, obviously. There's issues there, but still good character. Hao's amazing. I think Hao's really his only competition in terms of who wants to actually take the nuke, considering he's got infinite electric terrain. I think it's in a sense of where, like, if you've got Hao, like, at minimum... What's his tiles? Yeah, if you have Hao, like, a minimum of, like, 3 out of 5, then it's probably just more within your interest to use, like, an EX rolled Hao or whatever over... Not over Florian. No, not over Florian, but you don't have to pull for Florian naturally, but, like... He's stronger. He's strong enough. Same with Ash. If you've got Ash, you probably don't need Florian. And obviously, like, Thunderbolt Red and blah, 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 right? I mean, the characters are broken. But, I mean, if you've got Champion Blue, then, like, Florian's going to be doing really good. It's just going to be pretty good, obviously. Champion Blue's still one of the best supports in the game, obviously. I mean, if you're an electric type, it's like a double-edged sword, pretty much for you. It's like you've got amazing supportive options. Like, I mean, look at Chase, look at Champion Blue, look at Thunderbolt Red for electric terrain appliance. I mean, look at the crazy damage dealers you can be running with. But at the same time, you might be worse than or easily replaced by those same damage dealers. Like, I think Florian is super good, super strong, but if you've already got top tier damage dealers like Sing-Suit Hao and God forbid he's Super Awakened, or Ash, then you probably just don't need Florian. Can Florian outperform them in some regard? Maybe, probably, I'm not sure. But will it just be worth your gems to pull for Florian when you already have those characters? Probably not. Right. It's just something to consider there. Anyway, Unstoppable Curiosity, reducing sync countdown by 3 when electric terrain. The first time electric terrain is used each battle, restores MP to electric terrain. The first time the user's buddy move. Wait, oh, sorry, no. Okay. Restores MP to the buddy move the first time the user uses electric terrain. Okay. There we go. Got it. Took a little bit, but that's okay. So this is good, obviously. He gets 2 uses of this cracked move here. This is, I mean, a 350 power move AoE. It's going to do a lot of, whatever, right? Big effect is it's buffing sync move up next. That is extremely strong. That is an extremely strong effect, and well, you can get that twice. The way you kind of want to play around this character is the way, because he sets electric terrain on entry and extends it, you want to use his trainer move, you want to use a couple of electro drifts here, get your support EX sync move in, support maybe their sprint, whatever it is, let's say Champion Blue, for argument's sake. You then, after that, immediately use the Violet Electro Drift, whatever. That's going to get you the sync move up next. It's going to be buffed under the support EX and, rebuff or whatever, you brought to the team in order to, power up as much as possible. And then you'll set electric terrain again when it's about to run out, or if it's run out then, whatever. And then you will get MP back on this buddy move, and then you can save that for after you use your sync move to get back another bit of plus 10 sync move up next. This is going to be absolutely nuts for 3v3 electric if you don't have like Sing-Suit Hao, especially not Super Awakened. It's going to be stupid. Hell, mate, is he going to be better than Cygnus would have? I mean, probably not, honestly, all things considered. I mean, Electric Terrain, Innate, Whimsical Sync, Cakewalk. He's got 300% multipliers. I mean, 434 special attack. But he does set and extend it on his own pretty easily, too, with that. I don't know. Could he beat it? I mean, he's got this buddy move. This buddy move is massive power, hitting multiple enemies as well. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe just maybe. Whatever. Okay. And then again, fuel economy 2 here, reducing the gauge needed to use moves by 2. Cool. Right. That's nice. Again, for gauge purposes. So that's his base kit. I think his base kit is pretty good. But you really prefer these sync move up next stacks when they are stacked on top of an actual multiplier, which being a striker innate, he does not have. He does not have any sync multipliers, none at all. Not even like the pissy 20% that Juliana has in terms of the support she's able to provide. Right. No sync multipliers. But you can say at the same time, even if he's 1 out of 5, he's got an actual sync nuke because of those sync move up next. And at 1 out of 5, he's still getting high amounts of DPS, 2 uses of a strong buddy move. I mean, that's something, right? And also that electric terrain and its extension, he's gonna be a good asset to set electric terrain. So like, there's still some good abilities for him at 1 out of 5, but you do want the dupes in this character, I'd say. Thankfully, unlike Juliana, well, I think honestly Juliana and him are in a weird spot. Where, mostly Juliana, where she kind of wants her 4 to 5 tile, mostly to make it easier to manage her grid, but also because Solar Sync can be pretty good for her. Flora, on the other hand, these tiles just aren't that good. Like, the Electric Terrain Team Brain Gain, I don't think is that amazing, unless you can chain it immediately into a buddy move, which you can, but more if you want to. And also, the first status move, Sync Countdown, -3 again. This is -6 Sync Countdown, which is pretty fucking crazy, right? But I don't think it's broken enough to warrant 5 out of 5 investment. I think the best use you get out of these tiles is that they're free and allow you to get to your sync tiles without any energy, right? I think that's the best thing about those. But we'll see how that kind of affects his grid as we go through here, because honestly, looking at it here, his stuff is very spread out, and that's never a good thing. Pretty much never. Anyway, at 1 out of 5, he's got Dauntless and Haste. So same as Juliana for the most part, whatever. 2 out of 5, Turbocharge 2. Okay, Grounding Wire. Yeah, Grounding Wire. Train with NPR is not really that helpful. Unless he gets debuffed, it's not that helpful. But Shock Recovery, Electric Drift, Gauge Refresh. That's pretty much it. A little bit of gauge stuff here. He's already pretty gauge efficient, but more stuff that definitely helps, right? Grounding Wire, preventing confusion, flinching, or trap whenever in an electric terrain. A lot of enemies like to have those gimmicks, decent enough to be able to be immune to them. Shock Recovery, a little bit of HP recovery, and then a little bit more gauge management, right? Mostly Gauntlet tools. I think the Grounding Wire and Shock Recovery especially are going to be some of his bigger assets. I mean, having some sort of recovery is going to be good, right? 3 out of 5, he gets Sync Induction, Soften Up 1, Electro Drift, Special Defense down, Electro Drift, my god. Special Boost 1-4, yeah, whatever, sure. Brain Power, Power Induction, Ramming Speed on Electro Drift, and first Sync Move, Restore Electric Terrain. We'll just say that. Is that hard to say? Probably not. Okay, alright, and 2 Sync Nodes. You're already seeing a kind of an issue with this guy. That's a lot of stuff. Though, granted, you might not want all of it, but still. Okay, Sync Induction plus Brain Power. These are the multipliers he's wanting. These are the multipliers he's getting. That plus Sync Move up next gives him a very good top-tier AoE Striker Sync. That is really good. I mean, he's got 150% just unconditionally in here. Well, they're conditioned, but whatever, something. Fucking specifics, semantics. There are 150% multipliers here, and then 2 of those sync moves will have 10 sync move up next backing them, which is going to be a very strong sync effect. And as we've said, it's 10% extra sync damage per stack, so up to extra 100% damage. Equivalent to that of another multiplier like Brain Power, Haymaker, Inertia, whatever it is, right? So he's got a very strong sync nuke, being Striker as well. Also something just to never underrate, Soften Up 1. We love those guaranteed crit syncs. It's amazing, especially for the damage challenge where your friggin' sync crits are literally the meaning between you ranking higher or getting more tickets or whatever else. And also any stage where you are just trying to really ensure you're guaranteeing your crits on your enemies. It takes the RNG out of the fight. It's helpful. It's a helpful tile for sure. So all this sync stuff is nice to have. He's also got Power Induction 3 and ramming speed on Electro Drift. I'm at the point where I'm honestly thinking these tiles are just a lost cause because of how far out in the way that they are from everything else. 07 to these guys. But the Power Induction plus ramming speed is going to be great multipliers for Electro Drift here. The Power Induction also boosts the Buddy Electro Drift, so you are going to be getting some good power out of that as well. I think you're probably going to be only able to pick this one up, though, just because this is so far gone. Man, poor thing. The 2 sync nodes going to go into that sync stuff. Electro Drift, Electric Terrain hit, special boost, giving you a 50% chance of special moves next when your attack move is successful on Electric Terrain. This is just another way to give him some extra power on Electro Drift, and also potentially the Buddy Electro Drift, right? If you can get that 50% proc on a move where you're then immediately going to go into the Electro Drift here, the Buddy Electro Drift, then well, that's special moves next buffed, and obviously it's going to be hitting a good deal harder. You know, so a 400 power move, it's already really, really solid and strong. And then Electro Drift, special defense down, special defense down by 2 whenever the attack move is successful. This is not AoE, sadly. I think this should have just been hit, special defense down 2 or whatever. So it was actually able to proc on this Buddy move, but it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. If you want to maximize the damage you can do with the Electro Drift here, then you probably do want to use this on the sides as well, but for the most part, you can probably just ignore that, just considering how good his AoE Sync Nuke is going to be anyway. Again, he's a striker character, you know, tech, EX roll boosted, very high-powered sync here. I think he's going to be fine to not have to debuff those sides in order to like absolutely shred through them. his sync move is going to be strong enough to do that already. And obviously you can bring like a special defense debuffer or whatever else, maybe like Thunderbolt Red can debuff special defense. I mean, Champion Blue can do it a little bit, so there are some cases where you might not even just care for this. Again, we're looking at a grid that is very rough in overall shape. We're at 5 energy to try and connect all these. I mean, we connected all that. Now, this, yeah, okay. Why is this 9 energy? Who greenlit that? I mean, yeah, I think that is really Florian's biggest. I think that's honestly both Floriana and Floriana. You know what, we just combine their names. You know what, that's fine. I think that's one of their bigger struggles is that their grid is just so kind of spread out. I think, honestly, a lot of the characters this month suffer from that, where a lot of characters you can see have a grid that they can just have a go-to, they are good with, and they don't really care to go, you know, stray too much from that, outside of given, you know, specific scenarios, whatever. But you can see that Juliana kind of struggles to get around all of her multipliers and all of her, you know, like soften up and stuff like that. Florian, similar case. I mean, like we want to get this. It's not going to be that great. We're not going to be able to do it. Kind of already making a funny shape. This is actually a nice symmetrical shape in order to get all of the sync multipliers here and the stuff to power it up, like in this case, sync induction, right? I mean, if you want to go 4 out of 5, frankly, you can just, come on. If you want to go 4 out of 5, you can just do this. I mean, sure. This can give you your full sync multipliers and stuff like that, I guess. And you can do that for actually even, yeah, slightly. It's more expensive, but you still, shock recovery, honestly, is just a nice tile to have. Whatever. Yeah, yeah, no, this is the cheaper way to do it. I don't know. I just don't think I'm a massive fan of a lot of these characters' grids, just with how they're built. I'm honestly just not really that big of a fan. But I mean, in this case, it's fine. But I'm not really the biggest fan of him missing out on the ability to set Electric Terrain again. Though at the same time, I don't think that really affects him that much. This is on the sync move, and at that point, I don't think, whenever he's using a sync move, I don't think he'll need an extra usage of Electric Terrain. No, wait. No, I mean, no. Never mind. It's not that he'll need an extra use of Electric Terrain, but he'll actually be able to make utilization of it. So this could have been a good tile, but again, it's so expensive to pick up. You're going to have to sacrifice something for this tile, something pretty big at that. Like a lot of sync damage, potentially. Or obviously, if he's like 10 out of 10, maybe he can reach it. No, not really even. Yeah, no, it's such an expensive tile to get to. It's actually just insane. Man. Yeah, same with the special boost here and the special defense debuff. Like, these could be very, very good enhancers of damage, but he just can't reach them, not without sacrificing something else that could be super important. At least I think so. Like, maybe I'm just building him wrong or thinking about how to use the character wrong or something, but you know, I think it could be an issue for him. I mean, he's good either way, though. He's got a really strong nuke, really strong DPS, and you can, like, hyper-focus on either of those things, and Florian's going to come out kind of on top. Though, for the most part, I think you do want to focus on his sync nuke. His sync nuke is really good, especially for those 2 times that he's got that sync move up next, boosting it. It's going to be extremely strong, and probably better to focus on that, again, than actual DPS damage. Though, again, it's not like you're completely dismissing it, considering you're still able to pick up power induction pretty much, you know, without much cost or issue. So, that's good for sure. Again, we went over these tiles. I don't think these tiles are insane. I think, again, the biggest, absolute best effect that these apply is the fact that you get them for free, so you can actually build to get to their sync tiles easier, which in its own right is good, but it's like, we've got our sync tiles for 10 energy or whatever, but I still want these tiles, and I can't, it's not any cheaper to get to them. Like, turbocharge is 9 energy, this is still 5. Like, shock recovery is 8 energy, this is still 5, and well, now we're at 0 energy left, so that's cool, and I mean, we got these free tiles in the process. And well, the saddest part about this, honestly, is that, I mean, if you sacrifice a sync tile, you can get electric drift ramming speed. That's probably not the worst thing ever, honestly. It's probably pretty good. Or you can pick this up. I think that's probably your best play with these tiles, is like, if you can get them to, if you can get Florian to 5 out of 5, you can do something like this and actually be able to manage it. Or if you get him just to 4 out of 5, you can do this and get the ramming speed electric drift. So honestly, 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 do provide that same buff where you can then now actually get some extra damage out of them. I think the 5 out of 5 enabling you to get to this tile is actually quite good. Not that the tile itself is amazing, but I mean, the sync countdown can be helpful. It's a whole turn of sync countdown. He's reducing 7 sync countdown the first time he uses electric terrain, which is pretty insane if you really want to think about it, because, well, kinda. I mean, it could be good. I'm just trying to think about it. You want to use your buddy move before you use electric terrain, but you also kind of want to use the buddy move after using your first supporty X sync move to get the maximized damage out of it. But you also don't have to. If you use Florian's buddy move within the first 3 turns of the fight, use your support sync, and then use electric terrain, you're then at your next sync move. But again, the only downside of that is that you used your buddy move and kind of depreciated its power the first time a little bit because you used it before your support X sync, which I think could be an issue, but at the same time, you are then getting to Florian's sync move immediately after, which could have its own good effects, and you're just accelerating the amount of sync moves you can get in the battle just a lot quicker, so there could be value to it. And the team brain gain, I don't think is like a crazy tile. I mean, it depends on your team. Obviously, if you're running him with like a special attacker, then it could be pretty good, but for the most part, this is just going to be like a decent ability for himself, I would say. But, yeah. So I think Florian's really good, though. I do think so. I think he's really good. I mean, he's still got that weird grid issue that I think Juliana kind of faces, and honestly, Marley too. I don't know about Erica. She might face a similar issue. I don't know, honestly. I don't remember what I did when I recorded her video. Yeah, no, this is a grid I built for something else. Like if you just want to go for full power, if you're just brain kind of missing out on here, you still want this though. It's not like this is that. It's like you can really alter this too much. I think, I mean, missing out on Furious Brain's not great, but Special Moves next is nice, so she might have a similar issue. Maybe so. I don't know. I think these characters all kind of have a little bit of grade issues though, just a little bit. It's okay though. Anyway, yeah. Again, I think Florian is a really, really strong unit. I think he's worth going for if you already have top tier electric types. No, not really. But you could also say the same thing for like pretty much any character. Like, would you go for this character if you have the second best option? Well, probably not. But it's more so that just electric types specifically are so competitive, so damn competitive, that you're really trying to look and see if Florian really does anything super crazy and super good that can actually replace one of your uber strong military tank degree characters on the team, right? So, and I mean, I honestly think he could. I think there's definitely a shot for him for sure. So it's good that he's finally starting to get characters that can rival a lot of these fucking top tier electric type characters without Super Awakening. Whatever, yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed. Good looking your summoning, good looking your skipping. Don't much else to say. I'm gonna be summoning for him. Yeah. Peace.